Welcome to Making Connections. I'm Tom Loucks, the coordinator for the City of Wisconsin Rapids, and thank you for joining me. And this month's guests are Mike Spranger and Karen from the Elks Lodge here in Wisconsin Rapids. There's a lot happening coming up over Lent season. We want to talk about a fish fry, and then we want to talk about a lot of the initiatives the exalted ruler Mike here has put in, and he's going to be heading out here as serving his one-year term. But I want to turn it right over to these guys. You're here to listen to them. And Karen, have you introduced yourself a little bit, your last name as well, and then we'll go to Mike.
Thank you, Tom, and thanks for inviting us on your show. I am Karen Schierick, and I am originally from the Green Bay area, but have lived in the Wisconsin Rapids area for the last 30-some years, and am a teacher. And I am an Elk member with Mike Spranger, and we do our Elks Lenten fish fries every year, and that's what we came to talk to you about today.
Alrighty, and Mike, have you introduced yourself as the ER and whatever else you'd like to mention?
Okay, Tom, thank you. I'm Mike Spranger. I'm currently the exalted ruler, which is the equivalent of the president of the Wisconsin Rapids Elks Lodge. I've been serving in that capacity for about 10 months now, and look forward to the final 2 months of my term, and then continuing to support the Elks charitable efforts beyond that time as well.
Alrighty, thank you, Mike. Well, let's talk about the fish fry. It's coming up. It is January 30th. We're taping this today, if you guys are watching. And that's coming up in a couple weeks. So let's hear about the fish fry. I believe the public's invited to come, and days, and all the notes that you have.
Our Lenten fish fry, we have been doing this for at least the last 30-some years. We are open to the public. We open our lodge every Friday during the Lenten season and have this fish fry. This year's dates, we begin February 16th and we'll run every single Friday through March 30th, which is Good Friday. And we are open to the public from 4:30 to 7:30. There are takeouts available, but we also serve meals in our dining room. We have a fish fry one piece, we have a fish fry 2-piece, baked or fried. We have a shrimp dinner. And with that dinner is included a baked potato or French fries, coleslaw, beans, and cake. There's also a cash bar for people that enjoy a cocktail before dinner. We serve, anywhere from 180 to 250 people per Friday night, and our deliveries range anywhere from 70 to 80. We do deliver to the hospital, we deliver to the mills, and we deliver to some of our assisted living facilities in the community.
All right. If they want to do a takeout order, do they do that at the same time or before?
They can do it at the same time. Often people call in takeout orders or deliveries, and then they come in, pay for them, and take them out.
Okay, so they just call the lodge, is that correct?
They call the lodge.
Okay,
yes.
So that's every Friday starting February 16th.
February 16th.
Okay, so that's coming up shortly here. If you guys are wanting a fish fry, it's cooked by members, is that correct?
Correct. Our workers are Elk members, spouses, families, and we have partnered with the high school programs, the volunteer programs. And so we have students come in from Lincoln High School, Nakusa High School, and Port Edwards, and they help us do a lot of the work in the kitchen, in the dining room, cleaning up. They help with the deliveries, the takeouts. And so it's a good partnership because not only we get help from them, but the students get to do community service for their schools as well.
Well, it's a good time for members as well to get together, share stories, not just cook and work. It looks like a fun activity, and I guess I would like to know what kind of fish, if you have that on the menu, what it is. Is it cod, or are we not sure yet?
It is.
Okay.
We serve baked cod, and we serve the breaded fried cod.
Okay. All right, so that's not going to be the caterer this time, which is the Llewellyns. It's actually done by the members, so a little bit different than normal member nights. So, all right, let's talk to Mike here about what's happening in the Elks in general and what's been happening your past year. It is January. You have about a month left. Is that right? As ER, second time?
I've got about 2 months left.
2 months, okay.
Before we leave Fish Fries, though,
Yeah,
I just
sure.
wanted to thank Karen and Lori Plosek. Between the two of them, they coordinate our all-volunteer event. And thanks to you and the public, those 180 to 250 that are showing up to support our cause with the Fish Fry. This is one of our major fundraisers, and all of those fundraisers that we run, that money is funneled back into the community in some of our youth activities and charitable works that we do. So thanks again for coming down and eating fish, and we look forward to seeing many of you down there.
All righty. Well, there's been a lot of activity going on at the Elks. In the past few years, the building has looked different, and a lot of new spruce up over the summer, new blacktop. It's looking really sharp. And let's hear about what the Elks offers and maybe how people can, if they want to get involved or become a member.
Sure.
What do you do?
Well, to talk about the facility initially, I guess the Elks has been in Wisconsin Rapids for 115 years. 1902, things were very much different here than they are today, but the mission that the Elks have has essentially remained the same. Our motto is charity, justice, brotherly love, and fidelity, and a lot of our core principles are based on the fact that we want to serve the less fortunate, provide opportunity for our youth, support our veterans in what they do, and after they've committed their time and volunteered their time to our country. It's just an all-American organization. What happened about 8 years ago or 9 years ago, we recognized that our historic facility that we were in for over 100 years was becoming too difficult for us to maintain and was requiring too much of our effort to keep that building going. So we moved to a smaller facility about 9 years ago, and we're currently across from the City Hall. We've stuck a fair amount of money into that building, but because it is more sized for our operation, we're able to use much more money that we generate for our charitable work. So in the last year, we've refaced the facade. It's a much more attractive building. The side of the building we renovated, and of course our parking lot was brought up to speed. We do share parking with Wood County, and that whole area is brand new now. So it's much more appealing for our banquets, our class reunions, our family reunions, whatever you'd like to use the facility for. And we're finding many more people are calling now saying, how can we hold an event at the Elks Lodge?
All right. Well, if you're just joining us here on Making Connections, I'm your host, Tom Loucks, and I have two guests from the Elks Club here in Wisconsin Rapids. We've talked about a fish fry. We'll sum that up again at the end of the show, which is coming up over the Lenten season, and that's just a couple weeks away. And we're also talking about some of the initiatives that are happening over at the Elks, and we're going to talk about some of the new events or events that might be planned through the year. I'm going to bring that up here with Mike shortly, and then we're going to go back to Karen and talk about scholarships and how that works. So there's still a lot more to go on the show, but we're going to go right back to Mike, and I want to ask him any things that are coming up. I know we're going to have a new set of chair. I don't know if you call it chairs. You can kind of explain that to me. Joe Llewellyn's going to be taking your place in 2 months. But what else is going to be happening coming up that maybe the public can be involved? I know there's a Super Bowl party. You can bring a friend.
Sure.
And that's coming up here like this Sunday, but that's pretty quick. But just touch base on some of the maybe new things or anything that might be coming up on the horizon, and then we'll go back to Karen.
Well, Tom, thank you. We're one of the initiatives that we started a little more than a year ago was to generate a younger membership The Elks has been around, like I mentioned, for 115 years, and our membership was growing older, and we wanted to make sure we created opportunity for younger people to not only participate in some of our charitable works, but to be able to socialize and network at our club. Our club is open on Tuesdays and Fridays, and this year, we've grown our membership by about 35 people, and most of those folks have been anywhere from 21, I think our youngest member, which is the age that you need to be to join the Elks, and we've had new members join, many of them in their late 20s, 30s, and 40s. So I think we're accomplishing the goal of trying to engage the next generation in some of the work that we do. Karen's going to talk a little bit about our scholarships, but mainly what we're trying to do is create an environment where people can come down and have fun. We've had a Badger game this last year where we had members come down, and those are member guest events. So if you'd like to try the Elks on, you're certainly welcome to join any Elk member and come down to one of these. Super Bowl is another example of where we're going to have a member guest event. Our Sportsman's Night is open to the public. We're looking at perhaps this spring doing a Talking Turkey, Talking Fishing Night, which will again be a fundraiser. And then the other event we're trying to pull together is a national program that the Elks Lodge runs, and it's called the Soccer Shootout. We have for many, many years run a hoop shoot in the winter, which engages youth from ages 8 to 13 in a hoop shoot contest. It's a free throw shooting contest that they can advance from the school level to our local competition. It goes up to a district competition, state competition, and then there's a national regional. It's a national competition, and we have had students from our community participate all the way up to that national regional. So it's kind of exciting for those families. The Elks do handle transportation and housing and things like that for those that go on. This spring we hope to add the Soccer Shootout, which is another program that will involve youth from ages 8 to 13. So those are the kind of things we're engaged in right now for the upcoming months. There will be more, as you mentioned, where a change of officers takes place April 1st. Our election will be this upcoming month in February. Joel Fluellen will be our incoming ER, which again is the president. And we have a board of directors of 9 people that essentially control the direction of the lodge, but our membership controls, at the end of the day, our membership controls everything we do. It's not, they are not directing the directors. I'm sorry, the directors are not directing the lodge directs the directors. So it's kind of a great organization to be involved in because you can participate to any level you'd like. We have members that come once a year. We have some that come every week. And we have many members that share in the events down there, everywhere in between.
Mm-hmm. All right. Sounds like you got a lot of fun events planned. I know the Elks is always a big part of Flag Day, which is June 14th, I believe. And what's the I just always wondered, what is the representation of Elks and Flag Day? It's not just yours. It's
a great question.
It's around the country.
The Elks created Flag Day.
Okay.
And essentially it was created, I can't tell you the exact year, but I want to say it was right shortly after World War I. And essentially it was to educate the public, to recognize the veterans, and to look at the progression of the flag throughout our country's history. It's a neat event. It does happen on June 14th every year. If there's good weather, we have it down by the riverside near the flagpole on the west side of the Grand Avenue Bridge. And if it's inclement, we do host it at the Elks Lodge. So look forward to that. It's a neat program, runs about a half hour to 45 minutes.
Okay. And do you guys ever have any breakfasts with Father's Days and Mother's Days? Do you have those, or is that something that's open for members and guests as well?
We annually we recognize mothers.
Okay.
It is a Mother's Day thing for members, and guests are certainly welcome to attend as well with a member. Oftentimes that's the way our events are. You have to be with a member, unless it's like our fish fries, which is open to the public, or our Sportsman's Night, which is open to the public. This event is a tribute to Mother. It's a very heartfelt program that I think, to me, it was very inspirational. When my mother was still here, I'd like to have her attend, and it really is a neat tribute to moms. So that's one of the benefits, I guess, of being a membership, is being able to share in that event. I believe we'll be having a luncheon down there with the event, which is usually a late morning
Okay.
presentation.
Yeah, I mean, the Elks does so much for the local community and people for charities, things like that, raising money for these events, especially like the fish fry. So, and it also helps members. It's reasonable for families to go there once they're a member. The food isn't expensive. The drinks are reasonable. So that's another added to the Elks. I knew that from day one, and I think that it's just another piece that helps, and that money goes. Some of that money goes to some of these charities. So, well, Karen, let's talk about scholarships. Is this the time of the year for it, or is it coming up? I'm not sure.
Yes, and we have a scholarship chairman that begins this work way back in November and gets the paperwork ready, puts it online for the students. The students at the high school work with their counselors on this paperwork. They submit it to our lodge, and then there's a group of people from our lodge and the Marshfield Lodge and the Stevens Point Lodge and the Wausau Lodge. We get together and we judge these scholarships, and then from that level they go on to the state level. And there are many, many scholarships that we give. One is called the Most Valuable Student, and it gives $15,000 a year to students. We have the Constitution Contest. We have the Legacy Award, which is a $4,000 scholarship to any senior, graduating senior. We have a patriotism essay contest for students in grades 5 through 8. And the awards go up to $3,500 for the top winners of that.
Wow, kids learn doing this too.
They do,
Yeah.
they do. And our local students directly benefit from these scholarships.
All right.
So that's important to us. I also want to mention a couple of other programs that we support, and one of those is Camp Wabeek. The Wisconsin Elks have partnered with the Easter Seals organization, and we donate money to this Camp Wabeek in the Dells, which is for families that have children with disabilities and their families. We also support our veterans in a big way. We have supported the Honor Flight, our lodge directly. We have supported medical programs for veterans, and we have directly funded money to the place at King, the Veterans Home, at King. Mike has mentioned our youth activities. Probably one of our biggest charities is our Christmas baskets that we do every year. And this project goes way back. I think Bob Berg is our chair for that, and I think he's been the chair for 20, 25 years. But what it is we give a Christmas tree and food and gifts to children for about 45 to 47 local families every year. It's a huge project. And we're very, very proud of it. We've been doing it for, like I said, 20-some years. We also have a comprehensive drug and alcohol abuse program. And I just want to say that the Elks are committed to eliminating the use of illegal drugs in our society. A kid should be able to grow up in a drug-free society. So that's a few of the things.
Wow, that's a lot that the Elks does, and I'm sure there's even more, and probably run out of time to mention that, but get involved. People can get involved, and if you're 21 or older, women, men can join, right? Is that how that works?
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, it's great that Karen's here today, because we really, I would love to see us have more female members. I think there's a misconception in the public that the Elks was a men-only organization, and that changed about 20 years ago. We've had women involved in our organization for about 20 years. We've had a couple of our exalted rulers were females. I think it's just one opportunity we have for growth that we'd love the community to know about. Part of engaging or on this membership drive was trying to engage more of the younger people. And we felt that what we're finding, or at least from my perspective, is that young families are busy. They've got a lot going on. And one thing we did to hopefully help attract them to the Elks Lodge is we added a kids zone this year, which we have Wi-Fi down there if that's important. We also have board games. We have opportunities for them to draw, color. It covers quite a wide range of children in hopes that the parents would come down perhaps for a meal, have dinner, or maybe have a drink, but that the kids would be engaged and have things that were productive for them to do so that they weren't tugging at their shirt tail saying, when are we going home? And we've found that has been embraced well by people that are both prospective members and existing members. So that's one of the things we've tried to do to appeal to a younger clientele.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. I'm a older family with young kids. I'll say it that way. It is very beneficial to be able to do those things because, yes, young families are busy. They're running to dance, they're running to swim lessons, they're running to basketball. How do you have time just to go and do that? Well, now you can even bring some of the kids, and there's no age for your family to bring, a 4-year-old or a 5-year-old. There's little toys there that are been donated by some of the members. So encourage that to bring them down for a half hour, 45 minutes. Food is relatively pretty fast, so it's a lot of it's set up, ready to go on the bar.
Yeah, the food's quick and it's affordable, and that was the other thing we wanted to reach out to families, provide a kids menu and an affordable menu options for the adults, because going out to eat isn't inexpensive these days. So J Squared has done a good job of creating a menu that has appeal to young families. Our drink prices are affordable. Our membership is, in my opinion, extremely affordable. It runs about $100 a year. And again, that not only gains you access to our club, there are about 2,000 lodges across the country. So if you're in another community, you're welcomed into the Elks Lodge in those communities as well by simply having a membership in ours. Again, the networking that's going on down there, the young families that are able to visit while their kids are playing in the kids zone, I think it creates an affordable environment for families, and they can also feel good about the number of charitable things that we do. So
Exactly. Well, we're about out of time. Any last moment thoughts that you wanted to mention to the public about the Elks or the fish fry? That is the big thing that we talked about here today, is that fish fry. It lasts 6 weeks, is that right?
7 weeks.
7 weeks.
And we invite everyone to come down and support our project. And it's a wonderful fish fry. The food is excellent, and it's a reasonable price, and you will enjoy the company that come down. So please, we ask you to come down. We are open from 4:30 to 7:30 every Friday, beginning February 16th, and we run every Friday night until March 30th.
All right. What do you take cash, check, any credit card, or just?
We do. We take anything.
Anything. Okay. So you can do takeout or come to the lodge.
no, one thing I wanted to add, Tom, and
Sure.
Karen, you would know this better than I do, but there's alternative meals as well, and not just the cod. We have shrimp,
Oh, yeah,
right?
I'm glad you mentioned that, because for people that don't like fish, we do have an alternative menu. For kids, hot dogs. We do have chicken tenders for a family member that may not want to eat fish.
Yeah, we have shrimp.
And
And
shrimp.
we have shrimp.
That's good to know, because I'm one of those families that have to cook 4 different meals. So, you guys do that for me. That might help one night of the week. So, all right. Well, I want to thank you for coming by, talking about the Elks. And if people are interested in joining the Elks, they can go to the Facebook page. It's just Google it, type Wisconsin Rapids. The name of the lodge is 693. It'll come up. Otherwise, give a member a call. Give you a call, right, Mike?
Absolutely. Anyone that has an interest in learning a lot about the Elks,
Okay.
I'd love to have a cup of coffee with you and tell you more about it.
So do you have a number? Would you like to give a number out, a phone
Sure.
number?
Yeah, they
Or
can-
the Elks number?
Probably call me directly.
Okay, yep.
My cell is 323-0800.
Alrighty, thanks for that number, and I can gain a couple members. I think that would be great.
We'd love to have them.
All right. Well, I want to thank you guys for watching us on Making Connections at Wisconsin Rapids Community Media. This is the show for the month of February. Remember the fish fry, that's the big thing. Anybody's welcome. Come down there. It's on a Friday, and it's going to last 7 weeks. So, again, we'll talk to you later on Making Connections.